Welcome to episode 96 of Tools in the Hall. Christmas edition. If you watch this channel regularly, you're probably wondering why I haven't posted a video in the last few weeks. Well, the truth of the matter is that I've been very busy heading into the holidays, spending a lot of time with family. My parents had their 60th wedding anniversary, so we spent a lot of time planning a party for them and getting that rolling, and then I had family come in for that, and couple my busy personal schedule with the fact that it's been a strangely slow last 6 months in the industry, and I haven't been making a whole ton of sales, and I haven't been taking a lot of orders, and those that I have been taking in, I've been delivering right away. So I haven't had the opportunity to do what I normally do, and that is a week's worth of orders comes in, I can shoot a video and then deliver the stuff the following week. This stuff I had to get in and turn it right back around and get out. So I haven't had much on hand that I could shoot a video for. And then you may be wondering, well, you know, you've shot other formats, like I do some vlog stuff and talk about some other things. And I'll be honest with you that after having not shot a video for a couple of weeks, it felt pretty good to have a break from my production schedule. So I decided to take advantage of that and ride that for a few more weeks and not have to sweat making videos. And honestly, I kind of liked it. It was nice to take that break, but we're back at it now. This video is about all the stuff that came in from the last week or so before the end of the year. And these next 2 weeks, the week of Christmas and New Year's, I'm not on the road because most of my customers are taking time off. And when the holidays fall right in the middle of the week, like they do this year, it pretty much writes off both weeks for me because I'm not on the road 5 days a week. I'm only on the road for 4 days. So you weigh the cost versus the benefit of burning the fuel, spending the time, and the number of sales that I could make, and I opted to take a couple of weeks off. I'll have some more family coming in, and we'll get a chance to do our year-end inventory on the truck, spruce things up on the truck, and refresh it for the new year. In addition to all that, when you own a business and you keep inventory, you have to report your inventory on hand for the year. And that is what we pay tax on. It's called inventory tax. And you try to keep your on-hand inventory to a minimum to minimize the amount of tax that they have to pay. That's why a lot of companies have end-of-year sales, because they just want to liquidate as much as they can, get it all out of the warehouses and off the shelves. Then they report that figure to the IRS for their taxes, and then they can ramp up and start restocking come the first of the year, and that's what we do too. So that's where we find ourselves. Those are all the reasons why I haven't been shooting a video, but thank you for those of you that reached out and asked if everything was okay and what I was doing. So sorry I didn't say anything. I just spilled this entire glass full of ice water all over the floor. Clean that up. I don't even remember where we were. And I'm not rolling back the tape to look. So let's get on with the tools. I bought something for myself because it's just the handiest little thing. And it's the kind of thing that will prove itself way more valuable than I think I even thought. I'm guessing it's one of these things that I'm always going to wonder how I lived without now that I have it, and that is the Milwaukee M18 2.5 gallon wet dry vacuum. This cool thing is entirely self-contained. This black base here is the dust collection bin, and with 2 latches on the top, you open up to reveal where you put the battery here. The inlet hose wraps around here, and it has a couple of attachments. It comes with a crevice tool, which stows away here, and it comes with a wet attachment here. Very easy to use. Cleaning out the dust collection bin is a breeze. You just unlatch it here and here, pull the top off, all your junk is collected in the bottom there, just dump it. Comes with a HEPA filter in it, quarter turn quick lock on that, release it, clean that out, put it back, and when you need to suck water, it comes off so that it has a float in there that'll shut the vacuum off once you, well, it stops the suction once you fill that to a certain level and the float stops the flow of air. So awesome little tool. And I'm stoked to get it because it's just great to have in the truck. I can vacuum up stuff real quick around the house to get on the corners of the dog hair collects. And I'm also embarking on a new learning adventure where I am studying under a guy to become a piano technician. That's unrelated to this stuff in a lot of ways, but it's also pretty related because piano technicians have their very own sets of very specific, highly specialized tools for the job of maintaining and tuning pianos. I'm going to do that. I don't know if it's going to pan out into something substantial, but I always wanted to learn how to do that, so that's what I'm studying right now. And this vacuum is going to come in very handy for cleaning out pianos. Highly portable, gets into all tight spaces like pianos have. So it's really cool, and I'm glad I got it. I've already been using it around the house just to mess around, and I've got a janky old piano that I just picked up from one of my wife's friends, and it really needs to be cleaned bad. I will shoot videos on that stuff. I won't put out on this channel. I'm probably going to spin up another channel for that. Don't look for anything real soon because I don't have a production schedule, and right now I don't have anything terribly interesting to shoot a video on. So it's just another project that I'm working on, and we'll see what happens, down the road once I get to the point where I feel like I know enough that I can maybe make a go of it as a professional technician. I don't know. It's one of these things where I'm just doing it to learn, and I have ideas, but how it will actually pan out, I don't know yet. It'll be fun though to go through that curve. I'll take you along with me on another channel when I get that going. So I'll let you know if that happens. But in the meantime, we got this guy, which is one of the tools that a technician is going to keep in his toolkit, and it's just great all-rounder to have on the truck and in the house. This was on back order for quite a while. I have a guy who just said, order it for me. When it comes in, I'll grab it. And that is the Power Probe draw monitor. This guy does a number of functions. It monitors vehicles' parasitic draw up to 10 amps, maintains battery backup for vehicle settings. It connects through the OBD2 connector and then powers up and reads that way. It has a full color screen, extended data logging, and it has a really long battery life because it has a 3,000 milliamp hour lithium battery. It's $265. It's in one of my flyers right now, so I had a customer asking about that, and he works on the automotive side for Capital Metro, so my largest account with most of my customers concentrated in one area. Whatever these guys want, they get, and he's just a terrific guy who always tells me every time I see him how grateful he is to have me be his tool guy, and I genuinely and deeply appreciate that kind of sentiment from somebody because he's told me all kinds of horror stories about other tool guys, which tells me what I need to not do. But it's all pretty common sense stuff. Get him the stuff he asked for, treat him fair when it comes to him paying his bill. I stick by my word, he sticks by his word, and it's a match made in heaven. And it's surprising how many tool guys screw that up. I'm sure you have plenty of your own stories if you're a professional technician and you've dealt with tool trucks, just how bad some of these guys can really be at their jobs. And as a result, this guy said to me, yeah, when you get it and it comes in, I'll grab it from you. So he's patient, and he's waited for, I think, a couple of months now. So this just came in, and when I'm back on the road, the second week in January, he's going to get his parasitic draw monitor. And I ordered one of these for a customer who's been, did he lose the one he had? No. I remember now. He saw a deal in a Mako flyer, and Mako has an advantage. Since they became a Milwaukee distributor, they get advanced word of all the deals that they can put on sale, and then they put that in print in their monthly flyer. I get notified of the same deals, but I don't get them printed in a flyer because they come out so frequently. So Mako has an advantage for me there. But the advantage I have over the Mako guy is when guys see the deal in the flyer, they say, can you get this deal for me? And I look it up in the promotional stuff I get, from Milwaukee, and I say, yeah, sure enough, I can. So I'll match the Mako price, I'll get the same deal, and then they can continue to do business with me. And this is one of those deals. This is the 1/4-inch drive, high-speed ratchet. This is the kit that comes with 2 batteries, a charger, and a bag. This is more compact head, high-speed version of the M12 ratchet that Milwaukee came out with, I think a couple of years ago now. Great seller. This has been one of the best ratchets I've seen, and they finally nailed all the things that they needed to nail to become tops in the ratchet sector. They shrank the head on these things, they made it faster, and it's a little more powerful too. So you do trade off some torque for the speed from what their older iteration of this ratchet is. This one is an outstanding performer. 5-year warranty on the tools, and the batteries come with it's 2-year warranties because they're the standard capacity batteries. The extended capacity ones have 3-year warranties, and no one is better at handling warranties than Milwaukee is. I'm a big fan of theirs for those reasons, and their pricing has gone up a bit, no doubt, because their stuff is high quality and people are willing to pay for it, so the price is going to reflect that appropriately. And it's also difficult to put the kind of warranty they do on their tools and be cheaper than everyone else. You have to pay for that somehow, and they put it on the cost of the tools. Now, the cost of the tools is still less than what you get on the Snap-on or Mako trucks, so comparatively speaking, you're still spending less, and you're getting a tool that's at least as good as the Snap-on and Mako ones, and you're getting a better warranty. Since Lisle came out with these, I haven't been able to keep them on the truck. They keep selling out. These are the electrical disconnect pliers. This is the straight pair, and this is the angled pair. And you can see how they have a specialty set of jaws on them for grabbing electrical connectors and disconnecting them. The single portion there depresses the tab on the connectors, and the serrated part grabs it and pulls it apart. One-handed even. How cool is that? So these guys have been selling like crazy. They're not that expensive. On the truck, this is, I think, $42, $42, and this is like $45, something like that. Very good sellers, and every time I stock up on them, whoosh, away they go. So this is a restock on those. I used to buy paint pens from Uline, if you're familiar with them at all. They sell to, everybody. It seems like lots of companies buy from them. You can buy packing supplies, equipment. I mean, there's a ton of stuff. And you can buy it as a consumer as well. They just give you price discounts if you buy in quantity. So I used to buy paint pens, yellow and white, from them, and the pricing was really rather good. And then, who comes out with paint pens but Milwaukee? And they have this in yellow, and I have them in white as well. And I buy these by the 12-pack from my supplier. And the pricing is rather good. Is this not focusing? Hey, hold on. Let me just fix this real quick. Oh, because I had focus set to manual. Focus is now set to automatic. There we go. So now you can read the stuff that I'm putting in front of you. So Milwaukee has outstanding deals on, like everything. It seems like they're coming out with new stuff all the time. These paint pens have been on the market for a while, but I've been buying them, I don't know, for about the past year, I think. And like everything else that Milwaukee comes out with, they're really high quality and the price is right. It seems like it's a Milwaukee world and we're all just living in it. And honestly, I'm fine with that because they're keeping customers happy, which means I'm happy, and they're a breeze to do business with. I love the way they handle their service and all the rest of it. I mean, I brag about them all the time. And it's very heartening to know that I'm not the one who has to do the bragging. I just brag about them because of my experiences with them as a brand and a company. But to hear my customers talk about how great their experiences have been with using the tools for their applications, and when they compare their stuff to what else they've owned in the past, and I'll again call out Matco and Snap-on, and there's just no comparison. People love Milwaukee's stuff that much better. Most everybody that I know has moved away from those other brands into the Milwaukee camp. And it's no wonder Milwaukee's done an outstanding job of winning over the market, and they've got hearts and minds on their side. And as long as customers like them, as long as retailers like me like them, they can't lose. And so far, they're knocking it out of the park. Gearwrench is always coming out with new stuff too, and their bolt biter line of extractors have been great. I sell the socket style ones all the time. This is the first time though I've gotten this type of extractor on the truck, and the customer has specifically asked me for these because he likes the socket style bolt biters. He figured he was going to give these a shot. These are the bolt biter screw extractors. This is a 4-piece set. They have straight flutes, so you can turn the screw either to the left or the right, which means if you have to reuse a damaged screw, you can. You can use them on hand tools and impact tools because they are impact rated, and they put a lifetime warranty on them. So, wow, what's better than that? I love Gearwrench for a lot of reasons. I mean, they're like the Milwaukee of, you know, their sector. They're coming out with new stuff. The stuff they have is really good quality. People seem to love it. Warranties are easy. I will admit, though, that Gearwrench is not as easy to work with directly as Milwaukee is. Milwaukee has it down to an art. Gearwrench has a parent company named Apex Tool Group, and Gearwrench by themselves isn't an entity. You have to go through Apex in order to get any aftermarket warranty work done, if you're a consumer. For me, I just go to my distributor, and if something breaks, I send it to them, I get a new one, and I get credited. So I don't have to work with Apex directly. But there are some occasions when I have had to do that. If there's a tool that's been discontinued, they'll still honor the warranty, but they'll fulfill that warranty with whatever's in the lineup that's closest to it. The distributor won't do that, so I got to go to Apex directly. And I confess that there have been times when it's been like pulling teeth to try to get an answer out of these guys and to have them not screw things up. Oftentimes, when we call, we're on hold for a long time. When we finally get through, they take all the details of our order down, and then we're sitting here waiting, and then we got to follow up because we didn't hear anything. We didn't receive anything. And we call them back, and they don't have a record of it. And it's a pain in the neck. So they don't do that very well. Yeah, on a side note, I'll take this moment to tell you something very interesting, but also a word of caution. Gearwrench recently announced new diagnostic tools. They've come out with a scanner, and it costs less than $1,000, and it's fully bidirectional. On paper, the specs look very, very good. The price looks outstanding, and they put a 2-year warranty on it. So they're doing something that others in the industry aren't able to do. Between the price and the warranty, great. Here's my concern. What happens if it comes to warranty or service? I don't know. I don't know if they have a different division in Apex that handles that, or if we're going to have to deal with the same people, because I doubt very much that I can get service done through my distributor. Usually on electronics like this, the warranty is from the manufacturer and it must go through the manufacturer. The distributor doesn't touch it. So I'm guessing if this is like everything else, I have to send it to Apex. And I don't have the confidence in Apex's ability to support their products because my experience with them has been, I'd say, mediocre at best. So I'm hesitant to get one of these scanners and put them on the truck, as much as I would love to do that. And I can afford to do that because they're not that expensive for me. My dealer cost is pretty good on them. But if I'm going to start showcasing this product, I need to know that all aspects of what it's like to sell and own one of these products is going to be pro grade, and that includes their ability to stand by and service these things. And I'm not sure that that's there based on my other experiences with them. Time will tell. We're going to contact for some other things that we have to get them to take care of. We're going to bring up the scanner issue. We're going to find out what their support system is for that, what the method's going to be, and so on and so forth. Once I figure that all out, it will inform my decision about whether or not I put their diagnostic tools on the truck. Until then, we have to wait and see. My wrench brand of choice is a toss-up between Gearwrench and Sunex, and it really depends on the configuration that you're looking for. Sunex came out with these foam pads that are custom cut for their V-Groove wrenches, and I think that this just looks beautiful. It's spectacular. The only downside to using what they call shadow foam with this stuff is it takes up space in your box. So you can more efficiently lay these out and it'll take up less space, but will they be as easy to see? I don't know. These are just so beautiful. The sizes are printed right there on the side. This is the 13-piece standard set. They do have a metric set, and the price on these is it's outstanding. $124. Compare that to any other pro-grade wrench that it comes in a similar configuration, and you're paying way more. Now, are there deficiencies in the manufacturing? Not that I've seen. Some people might say that, well, they spread. I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know. I don't have that experience with these. I've been selling Sunex wrenches for years. No one's ever complained. And when I offer them up as a brand, if people don't already own them, they'll say, yeah, let's go with the Sunex ones. If they do already own them, a lot of times they come to me like this fella did, and he said, hey, just get me this set. I already used the brand. I like the wrenches. I want more. Fair enough. So this is a special order for somebody. And he's been using their stuff for years too. And he works on the heavy stuff. He works in the trash disposal industry. So he's working on trash trucks with this stuff. And if he's happy with it, I'm confident everybody else will be happy with it. These are just terrific sellers, terrific product. Sunex puts a lifetime warranty on all their hand tools. These are no exception. And with the sizes and the pieces that you get in here, with the organization benefits that you get from using a piece of foam like this, it's an outstanding price on an outstanding product. One of my customers is looking to get into the Milwaukee power tool line, and he's looking to buy a ratchet, and he asked me for some recommendations because we have choices between that short neck one I showed you, high speed, and they have a long neck high speed, and then they have a couple of other options. You can still get some of their original iterations of the ratchets. But because this is this customer's first soiree into Milwaukee and owning a Milwaukee ratchet, here's what I recommended. And tell me if you think this makes sense to you. I recommended the Milwaukee Insider pass-through ratchet. You've seen me do some highlights on these in other videos. These come with a set of metric sockets, and you can get standard sockets separately if you want. It has a pass-through head, which means the socket fits up inside of the tool. What that does is it greatly reduces the profile, which means you don't need nearly the same amount of space to put a socket in a ratchet head into a workspace that you would if you had a manual ratchet with a similarly sized socket. In addition, the pass-through is carried over into every socket that goes up to 15 millimeters. The set that this comes with goes to 21 millimeter, I think. So anything 15 and below is a pass-through socket, which means you can run that socket down a long threaded stud. Very handy. And they're rather strong. This is rated at 60 foot-pounds of torque. It's not the fastest ratchet, but remember, you trade off speed for torque. So if you want something torquey, you're going to give up speed. If you want something fast, you're going to give up torque. So you just have to choose which one is right for your particular use case in your applications. This one, much stronger, but it turns a little slower. The benefit to having a pass-through style head like that is this comes with 3 additional bits that you don't have on other ratchets. It comes with a 1/4-inch hex bit retainer and a 1/4-inch and 3/8-inch adapters. So you can use all your chrome sockets and extensions if you want. You can use all the bit drivers that you have as long as they have a 1/4-inch shank. They'll fit on this guy. So it's a much more versatile tool. So for that reason alone, I recommend this. If you need one or your first ratchet, make it this one because it has a versatility to it you won't get in the others. And like the other ratchet that I showed you, 5-year warranty on the tool, 2 years on the standard batteries, 3 years on the extended capacity batteries. Can't go wrong with that. This is a little expensive though. This one's in the current flyer, but this set costs $464.99. And before that knocks you over backwards, compare that price to a Snap-on or Mako ratchet. And you'll find that you get way more features and benefits from this one than you do with the other brands because no one else has a design like that. This is the only powered pass-through ratchet with the features that I mentioned that I know of in the world. So they've cornered the market on this particular design. And if you want it, you're going to pay for it. I'm restocking on non-aerosol sprayers. These from Titan. These are just like the Sure Shot ones, but they cost less, about 20 bucks less. The design is so similar that I can repair these with Sure Shot repair kits. And they're a great tool to have in anyone's toolbox. I'm very fortunate that I have a terrific account in Waste Connections. They're a large waste handling company. And I've got a very special relationship with them. One I'm deeply grateful for because the gentleman who runs the shop there he and I have known each other for years. And we've struck up a really good relationship, both personally and professionally. As a result, I'm his go-to for a lot of things. When they need shop equipment, they come to me. When they want to buy stuff for the employees, they come to me. And they have a really nice voucher program where every employee gets a $100 voucher every month. And most of them give it to me. So I cherish this relationship, and I always make sure they get exactly what they want. Well, the guy who's in charge of the shop, whenever they get a new guy coming in, the shop buys them sprayers. So every guy that comes in, he says to me, give him a sprayer, and we need more gloves, and they order gloves from me by the case, and it's a terrific relationship. And I really enjoy doing business with not only that company, but also the individual guys in the company, because they give me a ton of business themselves. In fact, that pass-through ratchet is going to one of the mechanics who works there. And then those spray cans are going to go up on the shelf in the truck, but I promise before too long, once they get the next guy or two rolling in, so these spray cans are going to roll right out. And it's a great relationship to have, and it really keeps the business rolling. Shops like that have been invaluable to me over the past 6 months in particular, because like I mentioned at the start of the video, it's been a slow 6 months. The independent automotive shops have been slow since June or July and have not picked up, and I don't know why that is. So I rely on the fleet and diesel shops to keep me running. And if it weren't for the waste industry and the mass transit industry in Austin, I don't know that I'd still be in business right now. But those guys have carried me through handily to the point where I haven't seen much drop in overall business. So I'm very grateful to those guys because they keep it all happening here at Coyle Tools. If you've seen, it was a couple of tool haul videos ago, I gave you the lowdown on what's happening with my glove business. Go back and watch that video if you want to hear all the sordid details. The long and short of it is I no longer sell my own brand. I am now back to selling the GloveWorks brand, and I had a customer who specifically wanted blue gloves. So he's getting a box of blue nitrile gloves from GloveWorks. These are the extra thick ones. He needs the extra large size. These are going to him. And he's been waiting for a while because for some reason these are on back order. Normally I just put the orange ones on the truck and they sell great. They also make a really nice green color that are popular with guys who tend to like the colors, not the black so much, but I usually just stock the orange ones where I can. They're a popular color, easiest ones to sell. And just to give you a refresh on my glove business, I had an agreement for large orders. I thought that were going to be happening regularly throughout the year, like every 2 months, from a large company, Capital Metro, who manages the transit bus facilities in Austin. And I felt pretty good walking out of that agreement saying, I just got this great deal. I'm going to be their glove supplier. Come to find out, no, that wasn't the deal in their minds. And they reneged on the deal, and they bought a small fraction of the total number of gloves they told me they were going to buy from me. And I had gone all in on buying thousands of boxes of gloves to fulfill their orders that didn't come. And it would have put me out of business if we didn't have a plan B. So I didn't want to have to exercise that plan B, but it was necessary in order to keep rolling. Otherwise, I would be out of business right now. And it bothers me that you can't do business on a handshake. And you might be thinking, well, you should have entered into a contract, Lindsay. Yeah, but here's the thing: their purchases were going to be under the threshold where they could sign a contract. So I didn't have that leverage, unfortunately. It was a handshake deal with the person who placed the orders, and she decided that she was not going to place them with me after she told me she would, and I went all in on these gloves. So it was a bummer for me, but that's a risk you take when you try to grow your business. And as a result, I'm back to buying GloveWorks brands gloves from a company called MX. They make high quality products. I love their stuff a lot, and I've been buying this stuff for years before I went into my own brand. But now, back to the MX ones. More Coast headlamps are rolling in. These are special orders. Well, this is to replace one that's broken under warranty, and this is a new sale. These are two different headlamps. This guy's 1,500 lumens on high. This guy's 2,075 lumens on high. You can see the similarities in how they're made. All aluminum housing, focusing beam by turning the bezel on the front. The one on the top here has a second strap that goes over the top of your head. This just fits around the circumference of your head. Both have lifetime warranties. Both have dual power, which means you can put alkaline batteries in these to run them if you don't have the time to recharge it. Warranties on these are a breeze. You give me a broken one, I hand you a new one. That's simple. I don't have to send the broken one in for repair like I do with Streamlight. So I prefer Coast products. And the other reason I prefer is because compare the cost of this headlight to a similarly spec'd Streamlight, and I think you'll find two things. Number one, you will not find a Streamlight branded light that operates at 2,075 lumens. They don't exist. And this one costs $114.99. And if you're not in the industry professionally, you may be thinking that's an outrageous amount of money for a headlamp. It is. But if you're a professional and you rely on this every single day and you're wearing this thing constantly and you need this thing to turn on when you hit that button and you need it to recharge when you plug it in, and if it doesn't, you need somebody to say, I got your back, here's your new one, man, keep rolling, then it's worth every penny. Because you're going to use lights to help you make money. This light will pay for itself in no time. So the pro grade stuff is more expensive than the consumer grade stuff, not just because it's made to a higher standard, but because of everything that goes into backing that product and what the expectations are of a professional who purchases a pro grade tool. They expect that thing to perform better than anything else they can buy, and it should. And if it doesn't, they need someone to make it right. And a company like Coast makes that very, very easy. And I love dealing with them, even with stuff that, well, I'll give you an example. I would say about 4 months ago, a new tech came to me and she said that she had this broken headlamp. She said, and the guys in the shop told me that you are a Coast dealer. And I haven't done business with her before. She's brand new, just out of school, still getting trained. So she doesn't buy much tools off the tool trucks. Right now, she's just kind of taking it easy as she ramps up her career. So she came to me with this broken headlamp, and it looked very much like, I mean, it looked almost identical to this one. And I looked at the part number, though. I'm like, this doesn't seem familiar. So I punched it in to my distributor's catalog, and it doesn't come up. And I went to Coast's website, and I punched it in. It doesn't come up in Coast's website. I'm like, wow, this is kind of weird. I said, where did you buy this? And she said she bought it at Walmart. Now, here's what I'm thinking. Walmart may have had an exclusive deal with Coast to make them a specific type of headlamp. They put their own part number on it, and it's sold specifically through Walmart as their retailer. Because Walmart will buy, I don't know, hundreds of thousands or millions of these units. So it's worth it for Coast to do that. It was still branded Coast and all, but it was just made specifically for Walmart. And other retailers do that too. Home Depot does it. All the big companies that don't necessarily want to brand something with their brand, but rather just have something made exclusively for them. Gearwrench did it, for example, with Sears years ago. They made some exclusive wrenches for them. It's not uncommon at all. But here I was faced with this problem. I have a light that I can't get serviced through my distributor because they don't carry this particular model. So I put a warranty claim in with Coast, and these guys are rather good to work with. Put it into them, and they say, yeah, no problem, we'll replace that. Just send us a picture of it with your contact information, and I did. And I think a couple of weeks later, I got a brand new replacement light. So I gave that back to my customer and took the broken from her, and we are square. So Coast makes it very easy to do that. They're almost as easy as Milwaukee is. These companies are terrific to deal with because they are so ready to handle any after-sale support claim that you might have, and they make it very easy, both for me as a retailer and for you as a customer. Klein has the best priced true flush cut cutters on the market. You can see how the blades come together and they don't leave a bevel when they cut like a pair of diagonal cutters do. These guys are $28, lifetime warranty. Klein quality is very, very good. I have had to replace a couple of those on a warranty. But they're not heavy duty by any stretch. So you can, if you're really putting some hurt on them, you can misalign the jaws. No problem, it's covered. Klein is very good about that. The nice thing about these is, unlike the Nipex ones, which cost, I think they cost $60 or $70, and their true flush cuts are very good too, and they are heavier duty. Here's the problem though. Those flush cuts are only rated for plastic. These are rated for small wire, up to I want to say 18 gauge, 16 gauge. Right, so these are rated to cut 16 gauge wire. If you were to cut wire with the Nipex ones and you were to put a little divot in the jaws, they will not cover that because it says specifically right on the tool for plastic only. Well, if you just use them to cut zip ties, $70 is a lot of money just to cut zip ties with. Save yourself the money, buy something like the Klein ones, and you're ready to cut wire. Much easier to handle a warranty with these guys too. Nipex is a little, I'll say unscrupulous with the way they handle their warranty language because they find their way to work around things like you would normally want to warranty a pair of pliers for. like worn jaws and sloppy fittings and stuff like that. So they're not the easiest company to work with when it comes time to warranty something. Klein, very easy. And in fact, it's built into their policy that regardless of where you bought it from, every one of their retailers and distributors must honor the warranty. So you can take that back to any place and they'll take care of it for you. All right, this guy's kind of expensive because it's a big chunk of metal. Customer texted me a picture and he said, can you get for me a 1-inch drive, 3 1/8" socket? I mean, this thing's so big you can use it as a planter. Grow tomatoes in it. I don't know what he needs this for. But it's an expensive socket. I will say this, it's not as expensive as some other sockets I've gotten people in the past, which were special order items like this one. I did a gray pneumatic one for a shop that had to take these large retainer bolts off of mower blades that were on tractor mower decks, like the big ones that you see on the sides of highways where they have 2 wings that fold out and they drag along like a 3-decked mower. Those blades are held on with one, like it's like an 80 millimeter nut. It's huge, or 77 millimeter, I think. I had to get a socket once for them. It cost hundreds of dollars from Gray Pneumatic. This guy from Sunex costs $139.99, which, given what this is, not a bad price at all. And that's a tool truck price. Can you buy this for less elsewhere? Yeah, you can. Lots of places sell Sunex, and they're going to beat that price handily, not because they're not tool trucks. And you know, as a low volume retailer that provides full service, you're going to pay more money for it, especially because I have to finance things and stand behind them and deliver stuff to customers and go there and do business. Yeah, you're paying more for tool trucks. And you know, if you think that that's too much, then you're welcome to buy it somewhere else. Just don't rely on your tool truck to handle warranties for stuff that you bought elsewhere because you didn't see the value in the tool truck. Because if you go to the tool truck with something broken and you're looking for him to help you out, guess what? You now find value in the tool truck. See what I mean? So if there's not enough value in there in your relationship with the tool guy to buy from him, don't then find value in your tool guy to service you, because that's doing him dirty. Give him the business and he'll give you the service. And if you do give him the business and he doesn't give you the service, kick him to the curb because he's not standing by what he should. But if you don't give him the business, please don't ask him to handle stuff for you unless you have a particularly good relationship. Because, hey, you can buy this stuff on Amazon, and if it goes south on you and it breaks, just wait for the Amazon truck to show up. See what I mean? You won't do it because it doesn't exist. You don't get that level of service from anyone else. You should get it from your tool guy. That's why he's there. And if you don't get the highest, greatest level of service that you could possibly ask for from your tool guy, he's not a great tool guy. So only do business with the guys who are serious about doing business with you, and it can be a wonderful, wonderful relationship for years. And work on that with your tool guy. Hopefully he's working on it with you. Who has the best digital torque wrenches on the market? I don't know. But Gearwrench has a really good one, and I would stack this up against anybody else's torque wrench performance-wise. Now, there is an advantage to Snap-ons, and that is they have a greater range of torque than what the Gearwrench one covers. This one covers 25 to 250 foot-pounds. It is a half-inch drive digital model, where Snap-on goes, I think, 25 to 300, if I'm not mistaken. So they have an edge there when it comes to covering the range. This guy comes out of the box with all the features that you're looking for in a digital torque wrench. It beeps, it vibrates, it lights up when you hit your target torque, has a flex head, has a fine tooth 120 XP mechanism, and it does angle. You pay more for that from other brands. This guy costs $444.99. Compare that price to the price of a half-inch digital from Mac, Matco, or Snap-on. I don't know what Cornwell's selling for digital torque wrenches these days, but compare the price. This is about half the price of the one on the Snap-on or the Matco truck. So last time I checked the price, it may even more. Now, 1-year warranty on the torque wrench, like everybody else is in the industry. This is no better or no worse. I don't know of any torque wrench that doesn't have a 1-year warranty. And Gearwrench has a particularly reliable unit here. I think I've only taken care of one under warranty, if I'm not mistaken. And if I recall, it was a problem that had out of the box. I don't remember what it was, so it might have been a defect in the factory. But other than that, these things are terrific, and they can be serviced for years after the sale by a company called Angle Repair in West Virginia. They do a great job repairing, recalibrating, and even certifying torque wrenches if you need that done. If you're in an industry that requires a certification, look them up if you need service done by them. Angle Repair out of West Virginia, and they work on every brand. They handle warranties for just about everybody if you have your proof of purchase. So wonderful company to do business with. I highly recommend them. And I also highly recommend a company called Power Tool Repair. They're based out of Ohio, and they fix power tools that I don't do in-house. This is a bag of parts, though, because I had a customer send in an air drill, and they gave us a quote to fix it. He didn't want to spend the money because he either wants to buy a replacement for just a few bucks more, or he wants to go cordless and see what Milwaukee's got. So I quoted him out some Milwaukee stuff. He said, in the meantime, get this one coming back. So he's got to pay for shipping for me to send it there and get it back, but he doesn't have to pay for the repair. So, and they don't reassemble unless you charge an extra fee. And if we were to do that, he would be bumping up against the cost of the repair anyway. So he said, send us back the bag of parts. So he's getting that back. And when they do repairs on stuff, Power Tool Repair, or PTR, is outstanding. They handle, like Angle Repair, just about every brand. They do handle warranties for everybody. The only brand they don't service is Snap-on, because Snap-on handles their own repairs, and they have their own parts inventory. So if you need Snap-on stuff done, go through Snap-on. If you need any other brand of power tool done, be it cordless or air, call Power Tool Repair for that. Call Angle Repair for any torque wrench needs that you have. And these guys have you covered. I tell you to tell them that I sent you, but they don't know who I am. Actually, that's not true. Power Tool Repair probably doesn't know who I am. I'm on the phone with them a lot. We send them a lot of business. So I've called them in the past, and they act like they know who I am when I talk to them, and they're very good about giving me answers to any questions I have. They've helped me out when I've asked them about repairing something. They've given me really good information on maintenance and some products and stuff to use for like lubrication and maintenance and stuff like that. So PTR is excellent. Angle Repair is also great. Use those guys if you need to. I hope you've enjoyed this video. We're going to get back at it after the first of the year. So there's not going to be another video probably for a few weeks after this one until I get back on the road and we get the orders rolling back in and I get a chance to restock the truck. So enjoy this one for the next few weeks, and we'll probably see you in the middle of January sometime. In the meantime, please do me a favor and click down here now to subscribe so you don't miss any of it. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, use a tool. Don't be one.